When it comes to unleashing the power of the church, it all starts with vision. Kind of. Most church leaders believe that the sun rises and sets on vision, that vision is the core from which everything else in your community flows. Vision has been defined as a preferred picture of the future that produces passion in people. Because of this, many pastors see their primary role as visionary, keeping the vision fresh and in front of their people. Vision casting has become an art among church leaders because of the chronic challenges in churches where it's been said that vision leaks. Of all the dynamics of church life, what seems to get the most attention is the power of a church's vision. Often, the Proverbs are cited to make this case. The King James Version of Proverbs 29:18 reads, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." This seems to be the slam-dunk biblical argument for the necessity of vision. Without it, the people of God perish. Many conferences and workshops fill up on the promise of equipping church leaders to cast a compelling vision. Many leadership retreats have been invested in mining, refining, and wordsmithing statements of vision. After all, no one wants their people to perish. What's interesting to note, though, is what Scripture means by the term vision in Proverbs 29:18. In other English translations, terms like word from God, NCV, divine guidance, NLT, and prophecy, RSV, are used instead. Most commonly, in fact, the actual word is more directly translated, as in the New International Version, for example, where there is no revelation. Do you see the difference? People don't perish if someone doesn't come up with a great slogan. People perish, or at least miss out on God's best for them, when God's vision isn't revealed as the vision for their church. Here's the thing. When the Bible talks about vision and its deal-breaking necessity among God's people, it's not referring to a made-up, sloganeered, framed and hung at head office kind of vision. It's talking about the vision of God as revealed through the Scriptures. Biblically speaking, vision more accurately refers to the revealed vision of God. For sure, vision matters, and for sure, it leaks. But the primary vision God cares about when it comes to his body and bride is the one God's provided in the Scriptures. So the obvious question that emerges then is, what is God's revealed vision for his church? What chapter and verse do you prioritize to highlight and underline to organize your church around? If the vision for God's people is to be received instead of invented, what's the process for receiving God's revealed vision for his church? The monomythic cycle. In our context, we've understood the revelation of God to mean all of Scripture, the revelation of the activity of God throughout human history as recorded in the Bible. So our quest to discern God's vision for Christ's church, and ultimately for our local church, began with surveying the whole of Scripture from front to back. To do this, we applied what scholars refer to as narrative theology, meaning we viewed the arc of the whole Bible as a single story. Before doing that, though, we had to first understand how the arc of a single story works. For those who haven't majored in literature, which includes me, we need to understand something called the monomythic cycle. The term combines the root words mono, meaning one or single, myth, meaning story or narrative, and cycle, meaning pattern or structure. The monomythic cycle is the single pattern or structure of a story. We needed to appreciate that every story, especially an epic narrative, actually follows a very predictable pattern or structure. First, it begins with the original ideal. This is the once-upon-a-time moment where everything is as it should be. Soon, though, conflict emerges. This tension is what gives stories their plot. From there, the plot thickens as things go from bad to worse.